Hi everybody, welcome to another tutorial on BeepStreet Drambo, the modular groove box. In this part we are going to look at the Wavetable Oscillator, which has been recently released. A great addition to a continuous evolving set of features inside Drambo. And this gave a unique capability, sound capability to Drambo. So let's start. You can find the Wavetable Oscillator under the generator category. Here it is. Let's turn down the master volume to 0 so you don't hear it at the moment. I have selected a low note C1 so that I don't hear that acute sounds. Okay, but that should be good enough. You should be able to hear me as well at when the volume is like so. So let's have a look at it. Well, first of all, there's always help that comes to that comes handy. So if you click on the title there, you go to help, you have a bit of an explanation, as there is in most modules. So it's a Wavetable Oscillator, ultra clean Wavetable oscillators, and it supports 0 wavetable format, so up to 256 wave, as it says here, in a single oscillator, which is fantastic. And it has also a 7 voices stereo Unisons, which we are going to look at in a second. You find it here. So let's go through the module. So it contains the wavetables, and each wavetable has up to 256 waveform. You can see these basic shapes wavetable which has been loaded. It has a first wave which is sine, but it then has other waves contained in the wavetable, and the way that you can move from one wave to the other is using this dial called position. You can see it's starting to morph into a triangle, then into sawtooth, and then finally into pulsar square. Okay, so let's turn these down, and let's give you an example also what it sounds like. Okay, so if you wonder where the wavetables are, just click on it, and you can find here on the Wavetables factory there is one. There's a number of wavetables which have been preloaded already, and you can import your others as well as you please. So the position is modulatable. So in this case you could add under modulator a Mini LFO, connect it, and then let's don't have it bipolar for now. Let's set the position down to 0. Let's set the LFO to maximum, and let's listen. Too quick. And you can hear it's going up and down in a sine wave format. Okay, from 0 upwards, because I didn't want it to have bipolar. And this gives you interesting sound capabilities, because the more waveforms you have, the more you can transition from one to the other. Okay, next we have also a phase, the starting of the waveform. So that is really interesting. You can of course modulate that as well, which gives you interesting characteristics. So let's try again. Let's add another Mini LFO. Let's connect it like so. Again, I don't want it bipolar. Increase that to maximum, just decrease the frequency, and let's listen. And you can hear the effect of moving phases, and it works better when the modulated wave form is sine, at least in this version. So it's really interesting. You have possibility to change the tune in semitones, and again you can modulate that, and you can change fines as well, fine tuning. You can do some fine tuning in sense, okay, which is good. You can also decide to have a cross fading if you want it. If you don't want it, just click on it and you deactivate it. So let's try some modulation on the tuning. Another Mini LFO. Interesting, you can reach very sophisticated sound. Now let's move on. Here you have a selection for Unison. You can go up to 7, okay? And if you click on the edit button here, you can choose the detuning between the different signals, and also the blending. Remember, if the blending is down to 0, the tuning will not have any effect. And you can have also the stereo activated or not as an effect. Okay, so let's listen how this works. Unison set to 2. 3, 4, 5, 7. Let's blend in more. Let's have more detuning. And this is great to have Unison up to 7, because you can still have voices up to 8. So this increases also the polyphony, which is really good. Now you have your usual connection for pitch signal and also for gate signal. The Wavetable Oscillator in itself is a rack module, so if you click on it, you can start to extend it. And if you click on the plus sign, here is where you can add now, for example, a wave effect or a wave filter, which are new in these, which have come with the Wavetable Oscillator feature. They're under Spectrum, under the processor category. So let's start with the wave effect. And here you can select different type of effects. Remember, there are so many. You can expand, saturate, you can do clipping, folding, warp, etc. I will do a proper video to explain each one of those. For now, let's select the fold one, and let's remove the edit here so that we can see the wave shape, and let's play a little bit with the amount and the color as well for the fold effect. So really interesting, isn't it? So again, you can modulate that. So let's add another Mini LFO. Let's make the connection. This time let's set the amount right in, no, actually let's set it right down to 0. Let's increase this to maximum, having no bipolar, and let's decrease the frequency, and then let's listen. Less frequency. So remember, you can change also the coloring. Let me give you a bit of a taste of what that sounds like. And you can hear that better if I change this LFO down to 0 as an effect, and then change the color in here. And even more, let's set this LFO to 0, and now change the coloring. You can see how that affects the shape. And of course you can modulate these as well if you like. Next, I'd like to show you that you can also add a wave filter, like so. You have low pass filter, high pass filter, and also a band pass filter. And you can click and hold moving up and down, which is a nice little feature. You have the usual setting for cutoff, and also you can change the slope now, which is really nice. So let's try. And let's make it even more interesting. Let's add another modulator, another, yes, Mini LFO. This time, let's set the cutoff right in the middle. Let's leave it bipolar. Let's increase this to maximum and play with a little bit the frequency. So a lot to explore, particularly when it comes to the effect. Now, the type of sound that you obtain depends very much on the wavetable that you're using and the waveforms contained in the wavetable. So let's change, for example, the wavetable. Let's scroll down and let's use one which I used before, the VC80s. You can also change the wavetable with the arrows here, left and right. Okay, I hope you found this tutorial interesting and useful, and as always, see you next time. Bye.